Hello everyone, welcome to Picture Book Storytime. My name is Olubumi Abodere-Tabe and I'm a children's picture book author. But I use this episode, this series, Picture Book Storytime, to tell you about picture books written by a myriad of writers from all over the world for a diverse audience of children. So every time I come across a gem, I like to share it with you. So today I want to tell you about a book called Ruby's Worry, written by Tom Percival, written and illustrated by Tom Percival. And I like this book because it deals with a rather sensitive topic, and that's mental health, particularly mental health in children. And it deals with such a heavy topic, but in a manner that children can relate to. So if your child is worried about something, you sense your child is worried about something, she doesn't know how to open up, you don't know how to get her to open up, perhaps if you have a bedtime story time, a little story time with her or him, and read this book, then you can discuss, what happens in the book. But also, a quick word for parents. If your child does say that he or she is worried about something, please don't dismiss it because it seems minor to you in comparison to the problems that adults face. Their problems are just as real to them, causing them worry and anxiety, the same way that our problems as adults are real to us. So, Ruby's Worry by Tom Percival. Great book, great picture book, but also really good discussion book for parents to use to open up the conversation with their children. So here we go. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high. And she loved to explore far away places. She even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day. She discovered a worry. It wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first, Ruby hardly noticed it. But then, the worry started to grow. Each day, it got a little bigger. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she cleaned her teeth. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal. But it just wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize, but she was doing the worst thing you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Now, the worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at tea time. It filled up half the school bus. And it took up whole rows in the cinema. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. One day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt, and that was sad. Then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there. Soon, both their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time that she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for long. The end. So that was Ruby's Worry by Tom Percival. And now I'm going to ask you a question from this book. And if you know the answer, just type it into the comment box. The question is, how did Ruby get rid of her worry? Do you remember? If you know the answer, type it into the comment box. If you get it right, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Picture Book Storytime. Have a fantastic day.